Good morning, brothers and sisters. Just sat outside the gym. All right. You know, weird. Some of these gym goers, some of these people who go to the gym, they think they're absolutely massive. Like walking about like that. Like, is there any need? You're like... Anyways, good morning. Right. I wanted to come on and talk a little bit about the train of thought that I had last night. I was laying in bed. I haven't been on here for a little while. I'll come on for a ramble, I thought. I'm just sat outside the gym. I'm going to go in a minute, but I'm going to express my thoughts before I do so. I was laying in bed last night listening to the word. I do like listening to the word on a night. I feel that I digest the scripture much better when I'm listening to it audibly, you know, over reading it visually. So last night I had Deuteronomy on, and 15-20 minutes in I heard something which I've read and heard before in Deuteronomy, and it's do good in the eyes of the Lord. I really like that verse, and it got me thinking about good, you know, doing good and how, you know, so we as people, every person on earth, all sane people born from their own mother, then we all know instinctively, inherently, like internally, like it's already installed that we know the difference between right and wrong, you know, and good and bad. And it got me thinking, how? You know, it's like a level of faith already before you even know it. Like, how and why do we know the difference between right and wrong? As soon as we start crawling, walking, whatever, you know, as soon as we, from a very early age, as soon as we know what's what, we know the difference between right and wrong. Got me thinking, how? Why? You know, who put that there? What put that there? You know, that knowledge that we're all born with, really. You know, knowing the difference between right and wrong doesn't need taught. You know, it's not something you need to learn. It's something, as I said there, it's installed, it's instinctive, it's inherited, it's internal. The four eyes. Yeah, it is. And I went so deep in it last night, you know, laying in bed thinking about good and bad and do good in the eyes of the Lord. Whether you're a believer or whether you're not, you know, that doesn't really apply here. You know, but doing good, obviously, sometimes it takes conscious effort, you know, and it does for me on the daily, you know, that separation between the old and the new and the good and the bad. And, you know, you've got to look at things for what they are, because what happens to your habits, your habitual behaviours and your, you know, hardwired reactions and responses get in the way of right and wrong, because, or good and bad, should I say, because you're sometimes caught up in your own response, whether you believe that or feel that or not. It's like an automatic, like autopilot response, where you say and do something in response to a situation or a circumstance, and it's hardwired. It's habitual, and it doesn't serve us, you know, and the sooner we realise that, the better. But it's like doing good is something we shouldn't seek external validation for. You know, we don't need pats on the head. We shouldn't need, you know, verbally assured, or we shouldn't put all this, you know, this look on social media. You see it all the time. Look at me doing good. Look at me helping this person. Like, you're alleviating the whole point of actually helping them. You know, it should be done in the eyes of the Lord. You know, forgive me, you know, for the non-believers, but it should be done for the right reasons. You know, and it should be done because we know the difference, not because it comes with validation, but because we know as people the difference. And that doesn't always mean being nice. Being nice it's nice to be nice. Yeah, it is. It's nice to be nice. And when people adopt manners and respect, like, the conversations always go so much better, don't they? No, they do. Conversations go much better with manners and respect. But being nice, you know, is not a virtue. And we should never let being nice get in the way of doing the right thing. You know, we don't need to be nice all the time to everyone and anyone. Like, yeah, it's nice to be nice, but it's not necessary. It's not a virtue, you know. It's not a sole requirement, is it? Because being nice can get in the way of doing the right thing, you know. Like you're just trying to people please. You're just trying to, okay, I won't do what I know needs done because it might upset that person. Well, sometimes we do in life, you know. You have to, you know, it's like, as harsh as it sounds, you know, like, fuck people's feelings sometimes, you know. Yes, we have to be considerate and kind and caring sometimes, and for the right reasons, yeah, to do good. But it's like, that's this wokeness really in a nutshell, where, you know, somebody's feelings matters more than the truth, you know. And that's just obscene, you know. It's just absurd. Like, the truth is the truth, and whether it's your truth or my truth or their truth, you know, it's irrelevant. Like, my truth isn't necessarily your truth, you know. And I get this often. Like, I gave my opinion on somebody at the weekend, and that opinion constituted an insult, because that is my opinion. That's how I truly feel. That's what I think. That's what I feel. And that's what I see. And that's my experience of dealing with this particular person. You know, so, and then you get, you're no man of God. Like, it always makes me smirk, like, thinking, why? Because I'm not being nice. Like, that there is my truth. That's what I think, that's what I feel, that's what I see, and that's my experiences, you know, of you. So, you know, we shouldn't let people's feelings get in the way of the truth, and we shouldn't let niceness get in the way of doing good. Yeah, I think that's about all I wanted to say. You know, there's the sermon over for this morning. I'm going to come on a bit later on this afternoon. I'm going to talk about some supplementation that I've been taking, recommended by Aggie Faulkner. Right now, if Aggie Faulkner ever recommends supplements to you, you should take heed. Okay? Okay. We'll do a little video later on this afternoon. God bless everyone. I'm going for a sweat on. Ta-ra for now.